OFM Sport.
Very excited to get going. Obviously, yeah, like you said, England are a very strong side, but we really enjoy playing against them in World Cups. I think they've beaten us in the semi-final of the last two editions of this tournament, so I think we'd be really keen to looking to get a good start against them tomorrow. I think being able to beat a team like that early on really sets a tone for the competition. So I think we've got a really strong group of players here, and I think we've prepared well, and yeah, really looking forward to that game.
And what about the way you've been batting alongside Tasman Brits, and how special she has been over the last few months, this year in particular?
Yeah, Tasman has been amazing. Obviously, I think she's scored 300s in a row up to this point. She's just batting with so much freedom at the moment, just really taking on the opposition. It's been great to see how aggressive she is early on in that power play. And yeah, hopefully she's found form at the right time and can continue it throughout the tournament.
Recently, South Africa won the World Test Championship. How your team is preparing for the World Cup, which is taking inspiration from your men team, and the weather condition in Guwahati is quite rainy now. How do you know how your team people if rain comes? If you respect all them.
Yeah, obviously the men winning that World Test Championship is awesome. It's been amazing to see how the country has supported them and how excited everyone was back at home and sort of united to support them in that trophy. So yeah, hopefully we have the chance to do something similar to really get the country behind us in this tournament, and yeah, hopefully we can do something special. And then yeah, obviously a lot of rain around. Gonna have to sort of just be as adaptable as we can. It seems that the apps are quite unpredictable. You don't really know when it's going to rain, even if the app says it's going to rain. So I think we'll just have to be able to adapt in the game, and be able to adapt to whatever comes to us.
Hi Laura, it's not often that a captain admits to knowing the record against the opponents, and you said that you've lost to England in World Cups. Conversations around that particular record where you haven't gotten the better of England as much as you want in World Cups, has that happened, and what is the mood around in the camp with respect to such situations?
It's a bit of a tricky one because I feel like we've beaten them in the group stages in the past World Cups and then lost to them in the semi-finals. So we know as a group we can beat them, especially in the group stages. So yeah, I think we know that if we play our best cricket, we can sort of beat any side in the world. We've played some good cricket recently. We've been batting really well. We've been bowling better and better. So, yeah, I think all of us know that if we really stick to our plans and are really clear with what we want to do, that we can beat them tomorrow.
Marizan Kaap's age I won't reveal, but she's been around the circuit for ever so long. So, has there been any conversation around this being her last, or even if not conversations, what has she been around the group, and how has the group been around her in the sense of maybe making this one for her, etc., and all those things?
Yeah, none of those conversations just yet. I think she's still really enjoying her cricket at the moment and absolutely loves playing for South Africa. And it's been absolutely amazing to have her in the side. I think the amount of experience that she has is invaluable. She sort of knows every player going around. She's bowled to basically all of them. So she's been great on the field, sort of giving me advice on different players and different strategies. So yeah, I hope she plays for another 10 years. That would be amazing. But yeah, hopefully we can make it a special World Cup for her.
Hi. There were two very important series before this World Cup. One was the Tri series that was played in Sri Lanka. Again, the last series against Pakistan in Lahore. How has been the learning curve? What you guys have been learning in these conditions, and how your preparation has been affected to those series, where your performance was, I know it was like you must have been not satisfied by those performances, especially in Tri series. So tell us about your preparation and the condition.
I think the biggest learnings in those series are probably just how to play spin. Obviously, you had much different conditions to what we're used to back at home. I think especially being nice and proactive with the bat against the spinners in that middle phase. I think we generally get off to good starts, and I think we had really good death overs with the bat in that series in Sri Lanka, but probably could have done a bit more in that middle phase with the bat. Similar for our bowlers, I think containing the game a bit better in those middle overs have been big learning curves for us. And then obviously in Pakistan, that third ODI, we got a wicket that was really slow and turning and probably didn't adapt to the conditions as well as we would have liked. So hopefully if we get something similar, we're able to adapt a bit better to that.
Bit extension to the last question about the conditions. This time the World Cup, you will be playing in different conditions. Like one match you will be playing in Assam, again different conditions. And you guys have lots of experience of playing in India, but not in these stadiums and not in these conditions. So how you people are coping with it?
Yeah, definitely not ideal that I've been to India a lot but haven't played at a lot of these grounds. But I guess that's where we have to trust sort of the analysts and the people we have behind the scenes getting stats. Try to watch as much of the tournament as I can as well. Obviously there was a game on this field earlier, so yeah, try gain as much information as we can without actually playing. And you can generally see from like ground trends and stuff like that if it should be turning, be quicker, be slower, stuff like that. So I think just stealing as much information as we can before we go, and then hopefully assessing really early when we get out there.
And Laura, how big this Women's World Cup is going to be for the women's game overall across the world, being held in India with potentially big crowds, and it could well be one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting and the closest World Cup in history. So how big do you think it is for the game in general?
Hopefully very big for the game. I think, like you said, the women's game has grown incredibly in the last couple of years, and this sort of feels like the pinnacle of all of that, having a massive World Cup in India, where the game has absolutely, blown up in the last couple of years. And yeah, subcontinent conditions, a lot of really good subcontinent sides here that have a lot of good spinners. So I think it sort of brings everyone to a more of a level playing field. So it should be really tightly contested and watched all around the world.
One from Oris here. You have a tough start to the World Cup. A loss or two can have a big impact on the confidence and morale. Are you happy to sort of get the bigger sides out early, or do you prefer to spread them out?
I'm happy with bigger sides early. I think in a tournament like this, though, I think there's not really such a thing as bigger sides. I think these conditions bring subcontinent teams into the game tremendously. There are some teams that play a lot of games at the same venue, like Pakistan and Sri Lanka, so I think they'll be hard to beat in those home conditions. I don't see any game as an easy game. I don't mind playing bigger name teams early. I think it's sort of, if you can get a win or two there, it sort of sets you up for the tournament. So you don't want to be in a position where you have must wins at the end. So yeah, I don't mind playing bigger teams earlier, even though I don't really think any game is going to be easier than the other.